No, wrong button. Alrighty, it's time for the review of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Edition. Golly gosh. So, if you're watching on YouTube at any time, feel free to click like, leave a comment. If you're watching on Twitch, leave a comment. I stream Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. We do playthroughs, and then we do a review at the end of every day of a playthrough. So, if I continue to play this tomorrow, there's going to be another playthrough, another review, and so on and so forth, way it goes. So, to sum up my Smash experience in life, I played the original Smash Bros. On N64, and that was it. So I haven't played it since then, and I only played that game. I didn't have an N64 back in the day. I kind of stopped. I didn't have Nintendos after Super Nintendo. I had Game Boys, but I didn't get like any of the consoles, because by then I got like the PlayStation, and then Xbox 360, and so on and so forth. So I never really got, Nintendo stuff. So I didn't have a Wii or anything. So I didn't play any of Smash Brothers past the first Smash Brothers. And I do remember the first Smash Brothers when I'd go to my friend's house. I would just get demolished. So, as we saw today in the playthrough, that didn't change. So, I'm still bad at the game, but it is kind of fun. It is a pretty fun game. There's something neat about the fighting style. So, I'll get into what I liked about the game, then we'll get into what concerns I have about the game. And then, at any time, if you're watching live, feel free to comment in the chat there if you want to. You can just drop an emote, whatever you want to do in the chat there. Just looking for... I'm going to make a wall of emotes there. Golly gosh. Bam! Look at all that fotches. That wasn't a wall, but what can you do? So, the things I like in the game. It has a ton of modes. You can't go wrong with having a ton of modes. The more the merrier, but the one downside to it is I feel that aside from like things like Smash, Squad Strike, Tourney, and stuff like that, the rest of the modes kind of feel less and less refined, like Adventure, and even the menus, scrolling around the menus are a little bit difficult. Going into online, a little bit difficult, but you have a ton of modes. And even though it might not be as refined, you do have an adventure mode. I didn't seem to get far enough into it to see if the movie and cutscenes continue. It kind of just seems like if you go into Adventure, World of Light, you load it up, I cleared 20 spaces, whatever that means, and then you're traveling around a map. So while you're traveling around the map, you get into all these fights. As you're traveling, you see these little wisp-looking things around, and then you run up to one, and so that would be a fight there. Now, you could do the fight, and there's all the different types of characters that you'll be fighting with all special abilities, and then each one has its own, thing that you need to do for it. And the difficulty range, you see, that's 3 stars there. It's a very defensive character, and some of the fights are really, really hard. So there is an RPG-style leveling system to this, as well as unlock things. Like, you get a certain character, and then it helps you unlock another area. Like I have, up here, if I can get there. So right here is a locked spot. I can't get through there until I get, someone who can unlock that. Or if I go down, let's see, it was down here. See a boat. If you knew how to pilot a boat, you could cross lake. So if I have someone that could pilot the boat, I could switch to that hero and then pilot that boat, or break through something or do something like that. So the map is really large. I have an okay amount opened up so far inside of it, but it goes all the way up to the top left there, top right, bottom right. It is a large map for what it is. But, like I said, I haven't experienced any more, movie scenes or anything. I'm sure there's probably more, when I get to the main character there, the evil guy. I'm sure there's going to be more, but I just haven't seen it. I haven't run into it you know. So I can't say for sure if it's cool or not. Now, this is another mode that's kind of cool. When you're switching around menus and stuff, all of a sudden, like a challenger approach. So I can maybe, if I can win this fight here, I can maybe, you know, get them unlocked for, like, the regular game. I was versus someone in multiplayer who did absolutely amazing with this character here. So I wouldn't mind... Whoa! Okay, so apparently I just won that, and I unlocked the Inkling. Alright, I'll take that. So that randomly pops up, and then gives you, like, a little side quest, which is kind of neat. I like it. It's a nice little surprise. The only downside to that is sometimes you'll have a character chosen that you're not good with, and now you're doing this, like, unlock thing against a character, and you're playing maybe as someone who's, like, your worst character, you know? And then to unlock that person again in that way, they will pop up again, it says, but it doesn't say when. You know, so it's kind of like, oh, man, you might miss that one character you really want to unlock, you know, from that one chance because you had the wrong character out. You know, so it's very unfortunate. So it's neat, it's fun, but at the same time, it's like, what? That one was way easier than any of them, right, Simple? That was way easier than any of the other fights I ran into. I guess that person just wanted to be on my team so badly that they just had to do it. Golly gosh. Oh, by the way, the floating hand will get you. Yeah, so the good side is you got all these different modes. The adventure mode, it's kind of cool. That was way too easy, Simple. Oh, let me drink really quick. I'm losing my voice a little bit. But yeah, so the adventure mode aside, you know, the only downside to it is without movie scenes coming up left and right, I feel like it's going to become very monotonous, you know? Just you doing these same fights with different rule sets, and quite often the enemies you're versing, like in one hit, one regular hit, are doing like 30-40% damage, you know? That's a lot, but you are leveling up as you go, so you're getting these side characters unlocked. That's something I should have mentioned too. I can go back into it. Let's load it up. So you get these side characters that, like, just like an RPG leveling system, like I said, you know, make you stronger, give you special abilities and stuff. It doesn't seem like it's random. Like, you get these spirits, you can level them up, you can dismiss them somehow, and summon them. It doesn't fully explain what that's all about, but you also get a skill tree, RPG system again. Every single thing you unlock or do, you get a different skill tree, and, you know, increased defense and everything. They knew how good you are in this game. They were like, nope, we are good. Yes, that's what it was. That's what it was. But as you go, the one good thing about this mode is, as you go, you will unlock, like, all the characters, you know, in all the other modes. They don't unlock for this mode, though, because, you know, it wouldn't make sense if this character's somewhere on this map to be unlocked. Why let you unlock it and do the adventure mode that much easier if you get lucky, I guess, in one of the other areas, you know? But so you get primary and support side characters, and it's just like a card system. They all have different, like, slots, like the Master Belch will have 3 slots to be able to be open for assistance here, you know, and then you got all these other characters, and, like, this increased power for a while, greatly increased jump and move speed, start battles with extra stamina when fighting, you know, start battles with a lipstick, you hit an opponent with it, slowly drain their health, you know, all these different things you can add. And they all take up different amount of slots. So this one would take up 2 slots here. The Blaze the Cat one. This one's 1. Most are like 1, you know. Most of them are pretty much, you know, 1. Both these things say the same thing. Lipstick. You see? Oh, you can't see that right now. Give it a moment. There we go. Look at this. Lipstick equipped. Lipstick equipped. So they have the same exact ability. Slowly drain their health, yeah. Well, isn't that silly? So I guess abilities are also shared. That's unfortunate. Makes it a lot longer to finish things up and everything. You can save the team and all that jazz and everything. But, it's, it's a little, like I said, it's monotonous. So it's like, it's giving reasons to have all of this plethora of mini-fight, 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 mini-fight. Whereas it's not necessarily feeling like an adventure. It's more so feeling like a time passer if you're not playing the multiplayer. So, on to the multiplayer. You have the on-console version where you can verse CPUs and stuff with Smash, Squad Strike, Tourney, Special Smash where you get to set the rules to whatever you want to be. You got the games and more, you got the classic mode. What up, Ice Wolf? We're doing the review. Let me know what you think about this game if you've played it already. So you got the classic mode, which is kind of fun. You choose the level of difficulty, and then as you go, it makes it higher. And you can start from the highest difficulty, and then, unlock further from there. You get to choose whoever's unlocked that you've unlocked so far from the other modes. They got the training mode, the mob smash, defeat an entire army of enemies. That's kind of fun. It's like a horde mode. You can make your own Mii fighter. And then when you choose the Mii fighter inside of matches, then you can choose the one you created. So I've already made one. Named it after someone in the chat. Demon Tech Galley. I try and name things after people whenever possible. Got the Vault. Records, challenges, movies, shops. You apparently get people's tags. So I got 3 tags so far against people. That's kind of cool. Every time you win, you'll see someone's tag. Kind of neat. You can make your own tag. But now, that's all the stuff I like. And that's not too much. I mean, it's a fighting game. So the fighting is, the fighting. It's fun. But on to things I don't like. You do have the training here. You can, improve your skills by playing as a character against, a CPU. And it'll tell you, how high up you've hit someone. Like, it charts it. I find it really hard to see on that map, though. You could practice your moves and see how to make them do better or more. But it seems like, even back in the day when I played the original one, the game is complex just to be complex at times. And it didn't make sense to me back in the day. I mean, I was used to, like, Tekken. Bloody Roar was, like, one of my favorite fighting games of all time. Where it was games that each character did have abilities. And you had to use, like, the joystick where you go, like, doing half turns and stuff. Just to make it, do an ability. So a half turn into, like, an X or a square, a triangle. I was playing on PlayStation mostly at that time. That made more sense to me because it was a move that you do. Whereas this, I mean, you got, like, the special attack, side attack, and all this stuff. But it just seems like movement and everything in it is really overly complex. And I don't understand why you need to have 4 different attacks for each one of them. But then you get a special ability. But then you also have this, like, super special when you're glowing. But all of this to learn how to do it is really hard to find out. So you can go into, like, options. You can go into the controls. You can tinker with this stuff. Go into no name. So you go into this. So you got special, you got attack, you got grab, shield, all this. Other settings, B plus A. And then L with this semi thing. But, to really figure it out. So we got rumble on. Got smash attack, stick jump, stick sensitivity. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means. What does stick mean? Like, I don't know what these things mean. And it doesn't fully explain it to me here. It doesn't give me, like, a true tutorial. You think that that would be what would happen inside the adventure mode, but it doesn't for some reason. The adventure mode should start off with your kind of version of getting attuned to the fighting. Because the real reason to play this game is the multiplayer, is to verse other people. But, onto the last bad thing about this game, the online mode is dismal. It is absolutely dismal. Their servers cannot handle the online mode in this game. Not one bit, no way, no how. Their servers can't handle it. I'm pulling up a clip here. If it will let me. There we go. Okay, so let me pull up this clip here and let you see what the online mode's like. Let me close that. So this was earlier in the online mode, and you'll see it's just so bad. Let's see if I can make it larger. There we go. It's just so laggy. It's so bad, and it's got to get fixed. So, see how, like, it's just freezing up and just continuously freezing up. This happened in the majority of the matches I played tonight. The majority of them. There were a few where it really wasn't too laggy, but you could tell it's not really crisp. But, so this is what... Like, yeah, it's like you think you're fighting against lag half the time, you know, instead of being able to play the game and do the thing. So, this is the main reason to be playing the game. The main reason is you're just going to play online and just fight people to pass the time. And if the real main reason, the crux of the game, you know, can't handle it, then you got a problem. You've got a massive problem. Probably the servers can't handle mass influx. I don't think that's an excuse. I really don't. I think that they're charging us $20 for a year. Yeah, okay, it's not the most expensive online multiplayer cost, but the amount of multiplayer games that are on the Switch are far less than the other companies at this time. You know, in time, I'm sure they'll have more, but when you look at the offering of online things you could do, even when there is an offering of online capabilities, it seems very rudimentary at best. So, this mode here, you get into the match, and you have to choose what character you want to play as, from the get-go. You know, so you're choosing what character to play as from the get-go, and then you queue in. And then you just continuously play as that character. So, it's not like a finish mode where people are choosing characters, you know, maybe taking turns choosing. I know it can be kind of hard to kind of choose, you know, but in between matches, like, if you're going to rematch against people, it gives you the option. Why not let people change their character? You know, maybe you got just absolutely slaughtered by someone. You do rematch. It lets you do it. Let people change the character. So maybe they can fight better. So it feels more balanced. But if you verse someone who just slaughters you, you're better off leaving the match than doing it again. Because you're playing as the same exact character. You know, and then when you're in with loading screens, it's just not like a finished multiplayer. And there's really nothing else to it. Once you're in the multiplayer, you can either play or you can spectate. That's it. There's no friends list, no inviting the people you played with to your friends list. Nothing. There's, you know, no way of communicating with the people you played with. No way of connecting. No way of really becoming friends or making more friends, so that maybe you can make a team with them and play like 2v2 or something, and, you know, now have more people even play with directly. You know, so it's just, the game feels unfinished because of all this. The online feels unfinished because of all this, and it seems to be a motif of Nintendo right now, where all the games that really should be online games have no online focus. Because on top of that, in the online, you don't unlock the characters in your base game from the online at all. So you have to either do adventure, smash, the the classic mode, mob smash. You know, you have to do all these other modes to unlock the characters so you can play when you're not offline. You know, see, it's just that all of that takes it away from me a little bit. I don't think that this is a $60 title, it being as it is right now. Because the adventure mode, I didn't see a movie scene pop up after the first one. You know, when you save a character, there's no celebration. That character doesn't say anything to Kirby. It's not tying anything in together. You just save the character, you get a little splash screen, that's about it. So that's not an adventure mode to me. Where's the adventure? I'm just doing small little practice modes to practice playing the game against AIs and enemies that are really tough and really, like, powerful in many ways, so that if you're not amazing at this game, there is a chance you might not get all the way to the end. Because if you're not amazing at the game, and you're a rudimentary player, it's really tough, even on normal. You know, so taking all that into account, I think, yet again, Nintendo, I mean, it's a cool game. I like the fighting. I enjoy it. I hope to get better at it. But for $60, it's not a $60 title. It's not. And if you don't have any multiplayer games yet, you haven't gotten the Nintendo Online, it's technically an $80 game, because the main reason to use it is to use it for multiplayer. But since Nintendo's multiplayer is abysmal, it trickles into the games. It does. It trickles into the games. And when you see, like, when we look at the online games we have here, I mean, let's go Pikachu. You're using online mainly to trade Pokemon. Yeah, you can fight people, but it's not like there's a queue for it. So multiplayer in that is moot. Splatoon 2, it's a pretty good multiplayer. That one, I give it to him. But that one was multiplayer before you had to pay for it, which shows, like, you know, they were doing better before you had to pay for it. Fortnite is Fortnite, but I consider that's separate. That's just Epic Games bringing their game here, and every time I played it, it was kind of poop. And then Super Mario Party, so abysmal. Says you can't talk to people, you can't make friends. It's like, why am I playing these mini games against people I'm never going to see again? And then the mini game tournament length, you can't really choose a longer tournament to maybe do like a longer, harder match of back and forth against people. You know, you're only getting a few amount of the mini games, and that's all it is, really. You know, it's more so of a game play at home with your friends than is anything else. Mario Kart Deluxe 8, kind of cool. You know, a little bit wonky with the queuing up, but then again, yet again, that was before you had to pay for the online multiplayer. Super Mario Party, everything that's come out after the online multiplayer, the multiplayer seems less advanced than everything else. Let's see, Mario Tennis Aces. I never even tried to play the online multiplayer on that, to be honest with you. I was so bad at that. ARMS, you know, that worked out pretty well, actually. Pocket Tournament, you know, so I don't know. It's just, when I think about what I paid for, you know, being $60 and the multiplayer being rudimentary in it, you know, it's like saying Call of Duty having a queue where you can't friend any of the people you played with, and whatever Call of Duty character you picked, whatever gun set and everything you picked, that's it. What you're going into multiplayer with, that's it. You get one choice, that's it. Re-queue if you want to change it. It wouldn't make any sense at all. You know, you're changing as you go in that game. You know, and then there's no other modes. It'll just choose the modes for you, whether or not it's free-for-all or 2v2 or whatnot. It just chooses for you. You can't choose what mode you want to play in. You know, so, I don't know, $60, this is not a $60 title. $40, solid. If this was $40, this would be a great $40 purchase. $60, nah. I can't I can't in good conscience say this is a $60 game. I'm sorry. I know people that love Smash, and that's great. It's a type of game you enjoy. You know, that's great. But when I look at what's here, it's not a $60 greatness. The adventure mode without movie scenes for every character you're saving, without movie scenes even popping up yet. Like, no, there needs to be more. It needs to be more of an adventure. It needs to be more of a story to it. Other than, let's save all 60 some odd characters or whatnot, you know, and then maybe a movie scene will pop up, hopefully. I don't know. You know, I saved Super Mario and no movie scene happened. So it makes me think, you know, if the movie scene didn't pop up for Mario, it's not going to pop up for anybody else, you know. But what can you do? That's my thoughts on day one of the playthrough. Gonna play it some more tomorrow. See if my thoughts change. I'm playing it a second day. You know, and we'll see how it goes. I've lost my voice. But if you're watching this on YouTube, click like, leave a comment. If you're watching live, thank you for watching. If you want to leave in any of your last thoughts there, feel free to do so. If not, I'm going to hop off. I stream Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays on Twitch if you want to come by and see it. If you're also watching on Twitch highlights, leave a comment there too. You can actually do it in a little chat thing there. But everything aside, you all have a good night. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm going to go drink some tea to maybe get my voice back. And we'll be back to this tomorrow. And as always, since it's a multiplayer game, if you want to play, feel free to do ! friend code in the chat while I'm live. And that'll give you the little code to become friends with me. If I'm not live, it won't pop up, sadly. But while I'm live, it'll pop up. But y'all have a good night. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. Alright, everyone that's watching live, you all have a good night, too. I love you very much. Thank you so much for hanging out with little old Fealty. We'll be back tomorrow. Probably, I'm going to try and get on as early as I can. And we'll play this, you know, for, I think, most of the stream. And we'll play more of the adventure, because I want to see if some more movie scenes pop up. You know, but if not, I mean, how far can you really go with it? Yeah, like, how far can you really go? I want to definitely get more into the adventure, and then more multiplayer. See if the servers get better at all, so I could say for day 2 if the servers got better, you know, but I don't know, it just feels like a game that, yeah, I'll pick it up and play it from time to time, but I really wish it had a better adventure mode, you know? I wish, I mean, how much can they really, you know, fighting games like, you know, Dragon Ball Z and stuff, like every time you do those fighting games, really is the same thing over and over again, because really what is a game? It's a fighting game. So every single step you're going to take, you know, it's another fight, you know, so it just gets a little monotonous over time, I feel, but we'll see. Like, that's why I think in fighting games, you need to have more movie scenes. You know, I think a fighting game is better to have longer movie scenes in a fighting game, you know, than it is to have it in, like, remember, like, Metal Gear Solid had, like, a 4-hour amount of movie scenes and stuff? You know, that's like, ugh. Whereas with a fighting game where you're doing the same exact thing over and over, like, that's in a game that you're like adventuring, exploring, doing a various set of tasks that don't feel monotonous. Whereas in a fighting game, you know, it's like you're doing the same exact thing over and over again. Put in more movie scenes, then, you know, that gets monotonous. But I don't know, that's my thoughts on that. Yup, Sinful, right? Like, am I right? That's the best type of game. Put that, you know, I want to get this game, but it's more to play against my coworkers. Yeah, like, if you have people to play with online, you know, or in person, then yeah, it's great. Like, if you have people to play with, but it's so hard to meet people, you know, like, because if you meet someone in the open world, and you're like, oh yeah, you have a Switch? Let's play sometime. What's your 12-digit code? Who remembers that? Like, my friggin' 12-digit code. Like, if I want to make friends with someone, you know, There's my code. Your friend code 143600. Like, who's gonna remember that? You know. So like, you meet people in the real world, and they're like, "Oh, I got a Switch. You got a Switch? Oh, cool. Let's play sometime. Do you know what's your friend code?" Like, it's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. That's no way to get people connecting with each other. You know, it's ludicrous. A few Friday games, but that's the only it takes stress out of me instead. Mm-hmm. Understandable. That's understandable. It's a fun play here and there, you know, type of thing. They bring their Switch all the time. Well, I mean, think about it if you don't have it on you, though. You know, if you don't have it on you, which I think most people probably aren't going to have it on them all the time, you know, it's so hard to meet people and then play with them. It's a very difficult thing because no one's gonna remember. I mean, I gotta remember my social security. I remember so many different numbers. You know, I remember back before cell phones. Remember everyone's phone number, but like, it's tough. It's tough. And then when you're playing the games, you know, there's no online chat. You know, you could do it through like the phone, but you have to be in a group with someone to get into that call. You know, it's so rudimentary. Like, it just continuously feels like Nintendo Switch is a beta test and not a console release. You know, and then you're playing these games that are costing full price for Nintendo to beta test a portable game system. You know, I feel like the next Switch that is supposedly coming out in Q1 or Q2 is going to be the real Switch, and it'll have better tech in it, stronger components, and it'll be able to do a lot more, you know. And I think that'll be the official Switch, whereas this was just, let's make a little influx of money, release new games, remake money on old titles like Let's Go Pikachu, you know, and we'll, you know, be able to use that money we make to put into the next system. I wouldn't bring my Switch back and forth to work. That's too much. Yeah, I feel like the Switch just, it's not a strong enough system. Like, anytime I play it handheld, I feel like I'm going to break it. I have to buy a Switch first. Oh, guess I should wait. I mean, I'm not sure it's going to come out. It's just what I'm hearing is that it's coming out in Q1, Q2. So, I don't, you know, don't take my word for it on that. But it just, I don't know. I think they got to do a lot better. I think they got to do a lot better, or charge less on some of these big name titles, because I don't feel like you're getting your money's worth. You know, I mean, I hate to say it, even in Call of Duty, you're getting more than what you're getting here. I mean, you're getting more story, even in Call of Duty that doesn't really even have a story mode. You know, you get a great amount of multiplayer options. Smooth, you can meet people, you can talk to people, you know, and that's only $60. You know, you can get Red Dead Redemption 2, like $60. You get a multiplayer, which, yeah, it's a little bit pay to win the multiplayer, but it's still a lot of fun. You know, like, if you like that game type, you get a ton of story still, even in the multiplayer, after you finished one of the greatest stories in solo play, you know. So you take all that together, and it's just like, where's Nintendo, where are they coming from with saying that what they made here with Smash Brothers is $60? You know, it has way less in it than Red Dead. Like, I would say it only has maybe 20% of what's in Red Dead, maybe even less, you know. And Red Dead's only $60, whereas this is $60 for, you know, nowhere even close. So, and Nintendo owns the rights to the majority of the characters. Now, I'm sure a lot of those characters they are paying, you know, something for. Maybe. You know? Like, maybe. So, I don't think they're fully making a ton off of it. Maybe. But most likely they are. Most of these titles they are. So, you know, it is what it is. So, I'm going to probably highlight here at the end, since we talked even further about it, and I think covered some more topics there. You know, so if you're watching on YouTube, click like now for the surprise bonus ending of this video. Leave a comment. If you're watching on Twitch, leave a comment. I stream Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. do playthroughs, do reviews. Golly gosh. If you're watching live, Sinful, Ice Wolf, everybody that's been watching, thank you for watching live. Thank you for hanging out with little old me. Like, truly, you make my nights. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go get some tea now. I swear. I swear. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Night, night.